welcome Aquarius to Light Guided. Wonderful to be here with you today for your August monthly energy reading, soul and healing energies, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what messages Spirit has for you. Before I jump into your reading, just a reminder, this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate for everyone, and that's totally fine. Take what does resonate and leave the rest behind. If you like the overall style and feel of the messages, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and leave us a comment as well. We love hearing from you. And also, if you are interested in a private reading or intuitive counseling or distance energy healing, please check out our website in the link below at lightguided.com. We'd be happy to work with you and support you on your journey. With that, Aquarius, let's go ahead and jump in and see what messages Spirit has for you. The first card I'm going to pull today is going to be around what is your soul working on in the month of August? What are the specific areas that are happening, things within your soul? And I would say overall, Aquarius, the energy is very positive. Overall, the energy is flowing. It's moving really well. There's not a lot of stickiness. Sadly, our Earth sign friends, their energy was very, very sticky for the month of August. Not a lot of movement, but definitely the Earth energy or the air sign energies are better. They're much more fluid, and there's even a little bit of playfulness that's coming through, some lightheartedness coming through. And that's awesome. So Spirit, allow me to be a clear channel for any messages that need to come through for Aquarius in the month of August. Beautiful. And I'm sorry for the glare, Aquarius. I have some new lighting and it does glare a bit. I'll do my best to keep the glare from interfering with the reading. This is the card of soul love. Beautiful energies in this card. And I see this card, for most of us, we might consider the idea of soulmate energy. And while that may be true here, I'm seeing this card really about loving the soul that you are. So going beyond the idea of self-love and moving into the idea of soul love, which is just that broader, richer, more powerful connection to self at every level. I'm seeing a beautiful connection here between you and the earth, between you and spirit, you and your higher self. Allowing the energy of higher self to help you start to see who you truly are as a being on the planet. For those of you that do not currently have a meditation practice or anything like that, there's a sense that that would be valuable right now. And I'll also say there's a lot of spirit guides around you. I'm seeing a lot of spirit guides that are like ascended masters. So this could be for some of you Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, things like that. If you're interested, you can go to my website at lightguided.com, and I have a list of resources there that have guided meditations around the different chakra centers and so forth, and that may be useful or of interest to you. Let's take a look at other energies impacting you in the month of August. I'm hearing the words love is on the way. That may be for some of you. Love is on the way, and I'm hearing that again, that is about, it's going to show up differently for each of you, but for some of you that is a full, that is a full embracing of the love of who you are, really loving your soul, loving yourself at that level. It's also about loving others, bringing that same level of soul love into your relationships, into your partnerships, into your work, into your friendships, all of it. So that I'm seeing it as a seed. There's a seed planted in you. The seed of love has been planted in you. And some of you may be pregnant. That may be for very few of you, but the seed of love has been planted, and now it's going to continue to grow and expand outward, nourishing you and also nourishing others. And then that energy then attracting other people into your experience who are also able to reflect that same level of love back to you. So very reciprocal, beautiful energy, very beautiful energy. One more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of this turquoise. Oh, wow. Lots of cards came out. All right. I'm seeing a lot of turquoise in this energy. You can see it here in this card. It's kind of a blue turquoise. And then in these two cards, take the lead and be at home. We also have 68 and 67, so a progression, being at home, turn knowledge into wisdom. So some of you are in this transition of, I think of this as Queen of Pentacle energy, really being fully embodied, but now taking that energy and expanding it into, sirens outside, allowing your knowledge to become wisdom. Knowledge is that sense, it's a very mental experience. Knowledge is an intellectual process, whereas wisdom is a felt knowing, it's a felt experience. It's more integrated. And you can live from a place of wisdom. You can have knowledge, but you live from a place of wisdom. So there's this transition happening for some of you, growing into that space of wisdom. And I'm going to get more clarification on take the lead. I feel like there's more messages here. And okay, this is so funny. These two cards have been coming out in a lot of different readings this week. So Swan Spirit, time for deep dive, and Whale Spirit, trust the great mystery. And what makes me laugh about this is that the deep dive is like, I feel like the deep dive gets into all these details, and it's like very wrapped up in this kind of minutia, right? There's a sense of it like dealing with old stuff, whereas trusting in the great mystery is kind of letting go of all those details, like allowing the mystery of the universe to unfold with you and in you and through you. So we'll look and see what other messages might come through that support this. But I want to start with take the lead and see what clarification we can get there. Under the Stag Spirit, it's a beautiful card, isn't it? It's beautiful energy. Whoa. Spirit, please give us clarification. Oh my goodness. Wow. So as the cards, like literally half the deck came flying out, and what I heard was something missed the mark. You're afraid of something missing the mark. You're worried that you might miss the mark, and it's preventing you from taking the lead in this situation. Cycles. So for some of you, you may be dealing with something cyclical. This may be a pattern of stepping up but not taking the lead, or holding yourself back and not taking the lead. There may be a pattern of that in your experience. That could be with anything. It could be with work, it could be with projects, it could be with relationships. Let's see what more is here. We have the fertility card, which is speaking to like new ideas and creativity and tapping into that part of yourself that is that it's the seed. Actually, I'm feeling that seed again, the seed of love. So there's something in you. There's a seed of something. If it's not love, it's an idea or it's a vision. And you're in a position where you can take the lead on that, but something is holding you back. Some shadow work. It may be that you have some beliefs and thoughts about what it means to be a leader that is holding you, keeping you from breaking that cycle and holding you in a pattern. We also have this sexuality card and letting go. With blue kyanite is a very spiritual stone. It's also a very psychic stone. And the way this is coming across to me right now is that some of you are, it's almost like you're trying to force your intuition to give you messages rather than being receptive to the message. And it's part of what is getting you stuck in this energy where you're not able to move forward in the lead, taking a leadership role, because you're trying to see where you're going, you're trying to understand why, you're trying to bring in that intuitive message. But what's happening is that because you're trying to force that intuition, in fact, you're just all stuck in your thoughts. And so the intuitive messages are not able to come in for you. What I would say about that is allow the energy from your third eye chakra and your crown to start moving down into your other energy centers. Allow it to move into your throat, into your heart, into your solar plexus, into your sacral chakra, and into your root chakra, and bring that energy all the way down, grounded into the earth. And as you do that, you'll start to open up that pathway for intuition. Right now, all the energy is in the upper part of the chakras, like the head and the crown, and so the messages are incomplete. And then finally, the sexuality card. I kind of feel like in this case, it's actually talking about that root chakra, even though root is not always identified with sexuality. That could be more sacral energy, but this, because it's red, I'm feeling more of that base and root chakra energy. And again, just repeating that message to bring the energy down from your crown and your third eye into that root chakra so that you can clear that movement and start to connect in with this leadership piece. And again, I'm gonna pull more on this. I want to know more about the story here. So that kind of gives us more a sense of the emotional energies, but we want to know more about the story. All right, let's see what more we can find about that. Spirit, can you please clarify? Thank you. Can you please clarify more messages for taking the lead? Oh, wow. Beautiful cards. Yeah. Okay, so let's go through these. So in some cases, taking the lead is going to require you to see things differently. It's going to require you to, okay, 2 messages, so there's different groups of you here. For some of you, this is about creating a foundation of stability, and that you need that foundation and that stability before you can move forward. For others of you, this might be the end of, if you hold on to an ideal, if you have an ideal about like life has to look this way, or I need this, this, and this in order to move forward, if you're holding on to that kind of belief, it is interfering with your ability to move forward. And there may need to be a walking away of either a belief or a situation. I'm actually hearing this is not so much a walking away as it is a turning toward. So there may be things in your past that you're looking to for stability, but you're actually being challenged to walk forward into the unknown and reaching for a new kind of foundation, something new, something unfamiliar, that's going to allow you to break through whatever this cycle is. Definitely growth. There's going to be a lot of growth for you in the month of August around what it means to take the lead. And again, this could be taking the lead in your life. It could be taking lead in a work situation, in a relationship, taking the lead on a project for some of you. And taking the lead in your life, in creating the life that you want, being a leader in that process, not allowing life to lead you, but you really creating, being a co-creator and allowing it to, giving yourself permission to create the life that you want and not just bumping along and doing what's expected. For some of you, there's going to be a choice, a decision point. Right now, you are in a place where you feel pretty comfortable, right? You kind of have everything you need. And so while you're in a place of having everything you need, it's a little difficult to imagine stepping out of that comfort zone. It's very similar to this walking away energy, but this is a decision point. This is a conscious decision where you recognize there's this opportunity to do something different, and you're really feeling unsure about yourself. You're really feeling unsure about moving forward into this new energy, into this new place. But both of these cards, so both of these cards have butterflies, 2 butterflies here in the background. She's actively turning her back and walking toward this other energy, whereas this particular image is feeling more timid and unsure. And yeah, so definitely a decision point for some of you. And I feel like that decision point is around your spiritual path. It's around the path you're walking. And I'm getting like, for some of you that are already in a spiritual practice, what I'm getting is that now is the time to amp up your practice. It's time to amp up your connection with spirit and really, really step into it, commit to it, be devoted to it. For some of you, you're kind of hanging out in the grass. You're kind of hanging out, dabbling in this spiritual practice, dabbling in, different modalities is the word that comes to mind. So you might be practicing things like intuition. You might be doing all that. But the foundation of that practice is your relationship with spirit. However that manifests for you in terms of skill is different for all of you. But you're hanging out in the grass. And I feel like part of that decision point is going to be about stepping into your spiritual relationship in a much more powerful way. And I keep hearing and feeling the word devoted, like taking a leap of faith into this, into the power of what happens when you really connect in with your spiritual path and you really embrace that. That's huge. For some of you, this is major. For some of you, that's a major undertaking, and it might be I'm getting for some of you that might actually be, for example, you might step into becoming a minister or reverend, or something like that, where you step into like a more traditional, formal religious practice that will lead you into doing that as a, not necessarily as a job, but something that solid. It's that major. It's that major. Moving into an intentional community, stuff like that. So that may resonate for some of you. And then the last card here we have is the Sun. And what this is saying to me is that sometimes when we take the lead on things, we forget to actually have fun. We forget to actually enjoy the process. We forget to enjoy the experience of being in the energy of leadership, of leading. And there's a beautiful energy around that. There's a beautiful power around what it means to be in the lead. And it requires a lot of skill, right? Because it's not just about being led and leading with our ego, but it's leading with our hearts, leading with compassion. And how can you be a leader? And it's coming back to this as well. I'm seeing again, if you become a spiritual leader in some way, whether you become a formal minister or reverend or something of that nature, that leadership in you is about leading with your heart and being very mindful to not lead with your ego. And that can come up really quickly for all of us. We get fearful and we start responding to the fear. But this is about listening to your heart, listening to spirit, being guided by the devotion that you have to spirit, and allowing that to help you step into this energy. Now, again, that's not going to speak to all of you in terms of stepping into servant way, but the leadership role, it's the same thing. So no matter where you're taking the lead in your life, the reminder here is to do so with your heart, with compassion, and to be mindful about the ego, which we all deal with, right? Let's see what more. Spirit, what additional messages do you have for Aquarius? Whoa. I'm cracking up at the way the cards are falling today. It's like at every turn, like half, either no cards come out or half the deck comes out. It's pretty funny. So what other messages do you have for Aquarius? Thank you. I feel like there's one or two more. Beautiful. These energies are similar to, I feel like, Gemini. In fact, I think these are almost the exact same cards Gemini got. So there may be, for some of you Aquarians, there may be a connection with a Gemini. But let's see how these read in your particular reading. Oh, it just started to pour. You might be hearing some rain in your reading. That's kind of cool. Very cleansing. So I'm getting fourth chakra energy here. This is that heart energy I was just talking about, leading with the heart. 8 and 3 also equal 11. So for some of you, you may be coming into union. Or deepening a connection. I feel like for many of you, this is more about the connection with yourself and spirit than it is about another person. It could also be about connecting with your tribe, so connecting with like-minded others. I feel like some of you might be in August, might also be recovering from a broken heart or some kind of situation that's made you feel untrusting about stepping into romance. You're not quite wanting to, you're guarded. Your heart is very guarded about romance right now. This is a very passionate energy. Man holding a heart. This is kind of like Knight of Wands. A very passionate, fiery energy. And it may have been one of those situations that like heated up really fast and then burned out just as quickly. Some of you may still be healing through this energy or holding on to this energy. We're also getting the energy of financial constraints. I feel like there's a story around that. I want to pull some additional clarifiers on that. We'll pull additional clarifiers for man holding a heart as well. And then contract. This does not, usually when I get this card, this feels like an ending to me, like a divorce or separation or something like that. I'm not getting that energy from this card in this reading. I'm getting this more like stepping into an agreement with someone. So separate from the love piece that's happening here, it might be if you're starting an educational program, you may be signing paperwork and applications, something like that. You might be getting married, but this feels more transactional, like more related to business or education. So some of you might be going through that process in the month of August. And let's see, I want to pull some additional clarifiers on man holding a heart and the financial constraints. Spirit, what can you tell us about man holding a heart? Oh. Literally, the cards went flying across the room. I'm not kidding. That was crazy. So the two cards that came flying out are abundance and dreams. For some of you, if this was a situation that started up hot and heavy and burned out quickly, I feel like your attachment to that situation is related to this was like you thought this person was the person of your dreams. You had a lot of visions and a lot of thoughts that this person was going to bring you a lot of abundance, and so you were kind of taken by surprise that it burned out the way that it did. Now, for some of you, I'm feeling like this connection is actually quite old. It's not recent. It feels like, for those of you that this resonates for, this is somebody from your past. But that past situation has now, it's still preventing you from opening your heart. It's still keeping you guarded. So let's see what healing needs to happen here. What healing needs to happen for Aquarius? Yeah, so there's a feeling like a need to protect yourself. It's part of, that's part of how you've been operating around whatever this situation was for you. I'll call it a broken heart, an abandonment of sorts. You're feeling the need to protect yourself from that again. And the message in that is, you know, to open your heart again, really start connecting in with the feeling of joy. Because this is kind of what got diminished when we give our energy to these situations and we get hurt and we hold back so much that we actually hold back to the point of limiting our own experience of joy. We limit our own experience of creativity. I feel like in order to restore your balance around whatever that situation was for you, when you're ready and you're ready to start looking at opening your heart to relationship again, this is the communication card. You may consider seeing someone professionally, a counselor, talking through this so that you can start clearing some of that energy from that situation. I feel like some of you really blame yourselves, and that's keeping you kind of stuck there. So let's look at financial constraints as well and see what, I want to pull a couple more cards on that. I'll get some more clarification on financial constraints. Yeah. So the clarifiers here, or the additional part of the story here, is financial constraints related to angel of love and intuition, 6th chakra archangel Metatron. So I feel like for some of you, okay, so for some of you where this situation, this romantic situation resonates, and where you have felt like that situation has limited your abundance and your dreams, you've allowed that belief to play out in your current financial situation. So you have a barrier here, and there's part of you that might be feeling like the only way to regain your financial independence is through a love relationship. And let's see if I get any more messages around that. I'm also getting for some of you that you're, for a small group of you in this situation where this resonates, that you're actually starting to recognize it's the opposite, where you're recognizing that in fact you are your own best source of abundance. And so some of you are stepping into that energy. And that's what I feel like this is that kind of energy too, where you're starting to really tap into the power of your ability to create abundance for yourself. So for those of you that have that belief and you're feeling a little stuck in old situations, and you're stuck on this idea that other people have to help you with your abundance, this may be an opportunity for you to start looking at how you can create that abundance within your own experience. And then again, for others of you, you're already on that journey. You're already beginning to see that shift and that change. So let's look at the outcome for August. Spirit, what's the outcome here for Aquarius in the month of August? Too many cards. Just 2 cards, please, Spirit. 2 cards for the month of August for Aquarius. Spirit said, no, more than 2. More than 2 cards. Let's see what we have here. Beautiful. So definitely the energy of new beginnings coming in the month of August. And this is going to require you to do some inner work. It's going to require you to deep dive. So in your particular reading, the energy does come up as a need to do some excavation on some old beliefs and patterns and start working on clearing that. But with that, there are new beginnings. And I'm also getting the family card again. So there are some of you, I feel like this is a little bit of a separate message, but for some of you, the connection with family is going to be really important in the month of August. And that goes back to that soul love. So for some of you, it is the energy of family is really important. And we also got the fertility card again. So this has come up a couple times in your reading. And I really feel like this is about tapping into that inner energy, tapping into your creative energy, and really expressing yourself. That seed. I don't know if you can see it in this card. She's got this light in her belly. And I just see that as the seed of creativity, the seed of something new. And again, for some of you, that may be that you may be starting a family or expanding your family. And we got the Justice card again. This came out here earlier as well. So with this card, I'm feeling like this is going to be about balancing your energy, balancing your perspective. I'm hearing balance your perspective on a situation. So there may be for some of you a situation that's troubling you, where you need to have more balance in how you're approaching it. And I'm hearing get grounded. Get grounded. Be grounded. And this beautiful card, animals, this is kind of like, it feels a little bit like the strength card to me. But this is also, for some of you, this is also talking about your spirit animals. Whether they're currently in the 3D with you or not, that you have the energy of these beautiful spirit animals around you. And this feels like there's the spirit animal of peace, there's the spirit animal of strength. I'm looking at the wolf's face, and while this is a pretty good-sized wolf, there's such a gentleness to its face. There's such a sweetness and gentleness and such a love between the two. And the cat is kind of more the mysterious, you know, stepping out, being cautious, being curious, but also kind of holding back a little bit. And then the peace dove. Let me see if there's any more clarification on... Oh, I'm being told to use a different deck. Okay. All right, so here are some final messages for you, Aquarius. We have the message of health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. The message of pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. That's beautiful. That comes back to that soul love energy. And denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So that feels like that leadership piece to me, where some of you are kind of stuck in that cycle of fear around it. I want to pull also a heart and soul message, and then I'm going to pull a specific soul message for you as well. These are literally the hardest cards to shuffle ever. They're beautiful. These are the heart and soul messages. So let's see. Thank you. Oh, wow. What a beautiful, beautiful card. This speaks to me on a couple levels. I'm really feeling like this is a reminder to align your, really get into balance. Really, as you're doing the healing work, really work on healing and balancing your chakra system. We talked about that here. And integrating your energies, integrating your passion with your vision and your ability to take action. And there's some empowerment in that for you. A pool of suppressed emotions lies trapped within you, and it is time for you to release them. Allow your feelings and emotions to surface. You are safe. It's okay for you to open your heart and be vulnerable. This is a time for healing old wounds. This healing process is a blessing, not a curse. So some of you might feel reluctant to step into that healing energy, that deep dive. What soul messages do we have for Aquarius? Name all the things you love. Haha, are you one of them? I love this. I give myself all the love and attention I need. So that's a beautiful reminder to be in a space of acceptance and love of yourself, no matter where you are in the journey, to really embrace yourself and be present with that. Well, my Aquarian friends, I hope that this reading was useful to you in some way, that it brought some messages of comfort and clarity to you. Again, if you like the overall feel of the channel, like, share, and subscribe. If I can offer you a private reading or intuitive counseling or distance energy healing, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And beyond that, I wish you well. I send you much love and many blessings to you until we meet again. Thank you.